What's your it's expensive, but it's worth it product? Work shoes. I'm a chef, and on my feet all day. I buy a new $150, $200 pair of clogs every year. I bought cheap shoes when I was green and could barely walk at the end of my shift. Or sole implants. I'm required to wear steel-toed boots and those are rarely comfortable, but I got orthopedic inserts from a doctor and holy crap. It now only kind of sucks that I stand all day. I got myself a nice pair of Red Wings for work. They're anywhere from $150, $300 depending which pair you get, but I can say I have never felt better after a hard day's work with them. My feet are never sore. Kitchen knives. Get a nice chef knife. Keep it sharp and your cooking will be 1,000 times more pleasant. Plus the quality knives last a lifetime. I was told by a chef friend to look at prices on full sets of knives to see what I'd be comfortable spending. Then to take that amount and spend it on a single chef's knife. No regrets here. Pretty sound advice in my experience. Didn't know they sold chef's knives for $11.99. Mattress is amazing. You're spending 30% of your life on it, can't cheap out. What kind of mattress? I've been looking at mattresses, considered dropping big bucks, but wasn't sure about it. The cheap ones I buy feel great when I first get them, but 4 months in, back pain gets me again. I got a Beauty Rest mattress because of my back pain. Now I don't want to leave the country cause I love it so much. It has a guarantee for 20 years. So I figure 4 crap mattress cost the same, and having some relief feels worth it to me. Anything I buy for my siblings. My parents kinda just let them loose and don't buy them much in the way of new clothes or shoes, or help them with the layout of their rooms. One room has 4 teenagers in it, and it got bed bugs. So after the bed bugs were removed, took months, I spent $300 and built them a quadruple bunk bed that kept them off the ground in the case of more bugs. I just bought them a desk for that room too. I guess this isn't really a product, but just a point that often spending money for other people feels a lot more justified than spending it on yourself. You're a very good person. Thank you. That made my whole day. Wow. Dog food. Feed your pets well. Makes a huge difference. Honestly, my cats eat so much less now that I feed them high quality food. That makes a lot of sense. Cats are obligate carnivores. They are wired to eat a diet consisting of 100% animal products, and cheap cat food is about 80% grain. Since cats can't really digest grain, they're pooping out about 75% of cheap food, mostly undigested, and will eat a lot more cheap food because they still have to get nutrition somewhere. High quality cat food is nearly 100% animal products, so the cats can actually eat like they are supposed to, and don't need to eat as much. A tattoo. You pay for quality. I never understand why people get price conscious about tattoos. It is on you for life. Very few other purchases can be said to be the same. Might as well go all in. My brother got mad at me for choosing to pay $100 over $40 at some place at a mall. Several things wrong with this. A. Never get tattooed in a mall. Don't even go in. B. $40 for a 2in X3 is bad news. I'm not having some guy put dirty poisonous ink inside me. C. They offered 3 pictures total on the guy's blog, 1 of which I reverse searched and found all over the internet. An alien, 1979. Tattoo. Not expensive overall, but good quality socks. Spend $15, 20 pretty pairs on quality socks and your life will be better every time you put them on. Swiftwick, Balaga, Injinji, something like that. Don Tough or die. Never going back from Don Tough socks. Can't beat that lifetime warranty. Good shampoo and conditioner. The sulfate and paraben free stuff. I used to use cheap crap for most of my life and my hair got really thin and brittle. Then I learned how bad that crap is for your hair and started buying better quality hair products. Now I have thick, beautiful, shiny hair and I'll never go back. Do you have any recommendations? My hair is hating my shampoo and conditioner choices. I don't usually eat plain vanilla ice cream, but when I do, it is Costco's Kirkland Signature Super Premium Vanilla Ice Cream. Vanilla is not plain. true vanilla ice cream is a freaking complex and wonderful flavor, and basically the best flavor that has, is, and will exist. So true. Weird that something literally flavored with the concentrated sex essence of a tropical orchid has become a synonym for bland. Ex-cook here. My knife. I spent an inordinate amount of money on it, but I used it 8 hours a day, and can't explain how big a difference a good knife makes. I'm sure it sounds pretentious, but a sharp, well-balanced knife is the difference between effortless pleasure and utter blood-boiling frustration. Yes. And a high-quality whetstone. My dad has knives that are 60 years old and are still a joy to use. Litter robot. Best $400 we ever spent. Don't have to scoop litter at all anymore. The machine slowly turns on the inside, making the cat poop fall into a hole at the bottom, which is normally closed unless it's turning. It has a motion sensor too, so if it's tripped by the cat going in, while it's spinning it stops and resumes a while after it's not detected movement. The cat litter is dumped into the bottom that's lined with a bag. We just take out the bag and replace it with a new one about once a week. I think I saw this thing on My Cat from Hell. This couple had a cat that would piss all over the place in spite of this fancy poop box, and according to that Galaxy guy it was because of that litter box. Apparently because it rotates the poop and piss gets mixed in with the still kinda clean litter, and Kitty found that unacceptable. I would love to have bought that robot because it sounds great, but my cats are also monumental bastards and will probably act the same as the cat on the show. I guess I'll be scooping for all eternity. They probably didn't transition the cats from one litter box to another. As I said in another post, you have to leave the old litter box out and let it get dirty. Given the choice between a clean box vs a dirty one, most cats will choose the clean one. Then when they're used to the new one, you can just toss the old one. Car suspension parts, brakes, wheels, and tires. People don't realize how much the tires actually affect the handling, grip, and stability. Tires can make the single biggest difference out of all the performance handling mods, but really come into their own when you match it up with an upgraded suspension. And they are, without a doubt, going to provide the best bang for the buck. It's almost as noticeable as the difference between socks and shoes on a wood floor. Honestly, if you're into it, a nice DSLR camera. $500, $700 cameras can be an amazing investment if you travel often. I'll add to this and say, you can cheap out a bit on the camera itself and allocate more of the budget to your glass. Buying nice lenses took my photography to the next level without any change in my shooting skills or style. Then work your way to lights and you're probably shooting better than 90% of the people out there. The glass, aka the lenses, is usually 70% more important than the camera. Any Canon/Nikon/Sony DSLR camera will do a good enough job for you, but if you cheap out on the lenses, nothing you do will fix it. Roomba. Imagine literally never vacuuming again. I haven't in 2 years. I'd pay the $400 again if it broke tomorrow. We had one for years. Named him Jack. Jack ran at least once a week, worked great on hardwood. Even the dogs accepted him as a family member. We tried to get him a mopping companion, named Jill. Obviously, it didn't work out. When we listed a house, my mother brought over her Dyson. It took 2 or 3 passes for the Dyson to pick up all the stuff Jack had been leaving in the carpet. The bucket kept filling on my 11x 12 foot rooms. The proper cleaning brought years of dog fur out of the fibers, so much that there was a noticeable difference in color. After that, Jack got put up for adoption, and we got a pet Dyson for the new place. Shoes. Please buy quality shoes and replace often. Yes, I worked retail for 10 years. For so long, I kept buying crappy flats that were about $30-ish. I finally bought a pair of Clarks. It was like walking on a cloud. Did the same thing with my running shoes. Found some Nikes on sale, and I will never go back to off-brand. Yeah, generic is great for many things, but comfy shoes are not one of them. Ultra Boosts. I know they are expensive, but man, are they worth it. Not a product, but having a house cleaner come once in a while has saved my sanity. Along the same lines, hiring movers when it's time to move. When my wife and I first moved in together, we just had friends come help us. Took pretty much the entire day. When we moved from that apartment to our house, we hired a moving company. They sent 2 guys. They had everything done, from loading to unloading, in 90 minutes. When you look at how much it costs to buy pizza and drink for the friends that help you, movers aren't that much more expensive. Plus there's the non-monetary cost of your time and effort that you save by having them do it. Well worth it to have the energy to start unpacking your boxes the same day you move. Good quality charcoal. It sounds odd, since you're just burning it up, but good quality lump charcoal gives more heat and better flavor. It also doesn't leave half the charcoal unburnt. The heat lasts twice as long too. Taste the meat, not the heat. Wait. As a Texan, that aspect of KOTH mad me off. No self-respecting Texan is going to claim that propane is superior to charcoal. Everyone knows mesquite is where it's at. Pans. Cast iron, ceramic, and stainless, preferably with removable handles, and one very large wok, plain ass metal, not non-stick. Once your pans are properly seasoned, and if you are using proper amounts of cooking fats and proper heat, you don't need non-stick Teflon junk that flakes off in your food over time. Good cast iron pans are only expensive if you buy them retail. My wife has found countless nice old cast iron pans at second-hand stores that people didn't know how to maintain re-season. I scrubbed them clean, got rid of the rust and properly seasoned them. Now we have 3 well-seasoned cast iron pans in varying sizes, all for around $15. You can find great online videos on refurbishing old cast iron. Taking good care of your car. Regular service from a good mechanic. My first car was nice, and I treated it horribly, and it was in bad shape within 5 years. My new car is 4 years old, and I take it to a great mechanic, and it's going to last me a very long time. Paying $300 for a full service oil change, tune-up, brake job, etc. is worth it in the long run. I've always done that stuff myself, but can confirm that you should pay for quality parts. Oil filters, spark plugs, etc. Saves a lot of heartache. And use the right gas for your car. And for God's sake, don't just buy the most expensive thing on the shelf. There's a lot of snake oil in automotive products, unless you're building some crazy race machine with a specific application that OEM parts don't suit. Just buy the OEM or OEM recommended stuff, and you'll be fine. The difference between $15 platinum/iridium plugs and $5 OEM plugs, in terms of performance in your daily driver, is 4/5 of 5/8 of frick all. Other than the $10, it's far more important to just do some basic research and know what you're buying. Just throwing money at the problem and hoping it works out is only going to cause you headaches. Well, unless you're just throwing money at someone who knows what they're doing, but that's really beside the point. Living in Seattle. I used to live in Memphis. I rented a 4-Brit house for $500 a month. Now I live in Seattle. I rent a 1-Brit apartment for $1,700 a month. Pretty much everything else is more expensive too. However, instead of driving 2 hours a day to get to / from work, I walk 90 minutes to / from work, or bus 30 minutes to / from work. I can walk across the street to the grocery store. Each week, more concerts come through town than Memphis had in a year. I have access to a way better job market for it, and work a job that literally wasn't available in Memphis. Pretty much everything I want can be delivered within an hour. Location is so important when it comes to lifestyle. I miss the low cost of living in Memphis, but I would be so bored if I moved back now. 90-minute walk, screw that. Yeah, seriously. A 90-minute walk would be around 5 miles for most people. So you could do that on a bicycle in like 30 minutes, which is much more reasonable. A bicycle. It doesn't really matter what kind you get, but pay the money for one with quality parts and that is comfortable, so that you will actually ride it. I usually consider bike costs on a per hour of enjoyment basis, rather than the upfront cost. If you get one that is uncomfortable, breaks down all the time, or that you don't ride because it's not fun, a cheap bike will be very expensive. But an expensive bike that you ride all the time will be cheap. I live in Cambridge, so we are stereotypically cycling everywhere. I'd say I spent an hour a day, if not more, on a bike. I spent PS 160 on a fixie. It was C-Ape and broke within a couple of months. Then I splashed out in a name brand one, Mango. I have been riding it for maybe a year, and it is as smooth as the day I bought it, with regular servicing, 10/10ths worth of money. Gynecomastia, man boobs, surgery. It changed my life. It made me want to work out. It made me want to improve how I look. It stopped my depression. It was worth the 7k. Hey, a fellow gyno surgery patient. I agree wholeheartedly. The quality of life improvement that came with getting rid of my man boobs is something I can't really even put into words. Growing up by the beach and spending all my free time in the summer out there, it really killed my soul somewhat to be self-conscious about my chest during my teen/20s, hiding behind a t-shirt constantly. After my surgery, which I had at age 30, I'm 33 now, I've completely rediscovered my love for all things outdoors, and I can take my shirt off and run around like a goddamn kid again, without a second thought. People really can take for granted that kind of stuff when they don't have body image issues. And I haven't even mentioned what it's done for my confidence with women, which is a whole different story altogether. It was the best 3 grand I think I'll ever spend in my entire life. Bare Minerals Macupe. My acne breaks out like nobody's business when I use anything, even Estee Lauder or Lancome. I hardly even use Macupe, but I like to doll myself up now and again. The last straw was when I put on foundation, and about an hour later, my whole chin and forehead were completely broken out. I remembered my coworker was always raving about Bare Minerals, so I tried it out. Best Macupe ever. Yeah, it's a bit pricey, but I don't have breakouts when I want to be jelly for the day. It goes on so smooth and even, and you don't feel the weight like liquid foundation. Such amazing products. This one's tricky. I have many friends who love and swear by Bare Minerals. My skin is not sensitive at all, but when I tried switching to this, my face would get itchy whenever I sweat. And after about a week of use, I broke out into dozens of small pimples all over my chin and nose. That had never happened to me before. I did a bit of research and learned that there's a skin irritant in Bare Minerals that is similar to arsenic. I think it's called bismethoxychloride. I stopped using this Macupe and haven't looked back since. My skin took months to get back to normal, though.